You're either one of two people. First, you've never traded a day in your life. You want to learn how to trade. And that is the best position to be in because you haven't been corrupted by all this fake or false information about trading. The second group is the people who have traded, have lost, and still are losing. They're looking for a solution. And I think both of you guys will benefit from this video. The first thing is, who am I? What am I doing? My name's Alex, and I have been teaching, trading, building, scanners, as well as trading algorithms with the Strat as our quantitative analysis or our, viewing glass to look at the market for over 5 years now. And the Strat was created by a man named Rob Smith, who was a floor trader in Chicago for multiple decades. And he put it all together as a full package a couple decades ago before he recently passed a couple years ago. And ever since then, the Strat has moved on and is still around. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is most people lose. And the reason most people lose, or even the reason you have lost, is because you lack the information needed to objectively look at the market. Meaning, you don't look at it and you're like, well, maybe it goes up, down, sideways, I don't know. You look at it and you're like, if it does this, I know where it's going to go. And if it doesn't do that, I also know what I want to do. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe you still want to trade. And going from right to I know exactly what's going on, that is the leap you have to take in order to beat the other 90% of people. Because they're all listening to the same people, the same things, $1,000 courses, nothing's changing. Now, what is the Strat? Well, it is 3 universal truths to how price works. And the first one is this. There's only 3 things price can do from one bar to the next. And if you've never traded before, this is where it gets a little murky, but you can ask ChatGPT, tell me what a candlestick chart is, and it'll tell you, and then come back. So we're not even going to talk about the 1 and the 3. I just want to talk about 2. So scenario 2, this is the second thing price does, and it trends, right? It's going up or going down. So for example, if this was a monthly time frame, we would see this month is going up because the low of this bar is higher than this low. So it's not going down. The high of this bar is higher than this high. So it's going up, right? It's making new highs. So this is a trend to the upside. We also have 2 down. So this would be a trend down. You'll see we're taking out the previous bar's lows. So we're making lower lows here. Then this high is lower than the previous high. So it's also making lower highs. Therefore, it's going down. It's trending lower. Lower highs, lower lows. Relatively simple. Now, since we know what a trend up and a trend down looks like, we also know what reversals look like. Because imagine we have a trend down after a trend up, right? Price has changed direction because it was going up last month. Now this month, no longer going up, right? Really simple. So how does that work then? Well, since we know what reversals look like, we know what reversals look like. We can tell you when things reverse and where you want to be a buyer or a seller. So let's just go to, recently what happened. SPY. You'll see if we turn on our simple Strat numbers, and you'll notice the Strat is built into almost every trading platform that you work with right here, because everyone uses it, at least the people who know. But you can see here, we had a 2 down because it took out the previous bar's lows. It had lower highs to the previous bar. And then here, 2 to the upside, made higher lows and higher highs to the previous bar. Therefore, we had a 2 down, 2 up reversal. And then you'll see it goes 2, 2, 2. There's your trend. So just from here, right, that's 3%. We timed the bottom on SPY. We timed the bottom on QQQ, right? Dow Jones, you'll see this was an inside bar and then it reversed, which we didn't discuss, but you can see how this works. Just understanding what a 2 is, you know what a reversal is. And the whole Strat is like that. If you're like, wow, that's relatively simple. It's like, yes, right? Look at Dow Jones here. 2 up, 2 down, boom. That's where you'd sell, or you'd bet on the market going down and you make a ton of money that way. Now, what I'm not promising you is that you're going to make a ton. What I am promising you is if you want to learn this the proper way, we can make sure you don't lose a ton when you're learning. And as far as making a ton, it's just time spent in front of the screens, because once you see what we see, you will start seeing the charts the way we see them, right? And you could learn that in a month. Even though I've been doing this for 5 years, we both know the same things. So it's not about, it takes 10 years to learn this stuff. It's like, no. You can learn all this stuff in one night if you wanted to. What's important is time in front of the charts, practicing. So you don't want to be like, imagine you're going to learn to be a boxer. Would you get in the ring with Conor McGregor and then bet the house? You take out a second mortgage or use your whole savings account and bet on yourself to win that fight? Probably not. So when you're learning to trade, the same thing's true. You want to start very small and you want to get a ton of reps in, right? Like if you're a golfer, you have to hit the same shot 1,000,000 times. And I've been golfing for 5 years, so I know this, 1,000,000 times. And even then, sometimes you don't hit it straight. That's just how it works. So the best thing we want to do is to keep losses small when we're learning. And then as we learn and get better, we can risk more money, make more money. And where does this then lead you? Well, for Black Friday, we have something going on here. We call it the Strat Radar. And what it is this. It is a scanner plus education plus our private Discord, where we will walk you through a very simple strategy. I already taught you the 2-2 reversal. That's all you have to know in order to do this. It's literally that simple. So if you go and check us out, this link will be in the description, but you'll get access to what we call the gappers, which are stocks that are moving. They're automatically curated for you. And then in the morning, we even filter them down further to be like, hey, watch these 3 names right at the open, or this specific name, and we can help you that way. The other thing you get access to is our members education section, where you can learn all of the strategy for free by the guy who made it. I did not invent it. He teaches it extremely well. It's kind of like sitting in an algebra class. Like it's just very cut and dry, like I've already shown you here. And we also have other information. So if you sign up for the gappers, we will have a 1-hour gap course, which teaches you the setup we're looking for, how to manage the trade, and you're ready to go, right? It's relatively simple. If you're interested in that, go check the link in the description. And if you're like, I don't want to buy anything, I just clicked on this, I wanted to know what you had to say, then go and check out the rest of our stuff. We don't not share everything. Just to show you here, I showed you the 2-2 reversal, and this was something that we actually called out before it happened. You'll see here. We saw in the futures, this is the SPY or the S&P 500. We saw this, right? And then we told everyone we can expect the 3-2-2, which is a 2 down, 2 up reversal. And we know the magnitude or the target. And that was well before any of that had played out. And you'll see those breaks did occur in the NASDAQ and the rest of the futures, as well as the indexes, and all live, right? We're just showing people how this stuff works. And if we go to any of those names, right? The NASDAQ, you see this has been a pretty nice move for futures traders. It's almost 1,000 points. So we're not, gatekeeping anything, but if you want to learn this faster and not lose millions of dollars, thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, go and check us out. And if we go to view exclusive pricing, you're going to see $119 a year for the Strat course, our Discord, and our scanner, and everything else that's going to come with that, like our live streams and whatnot. So it's the best deal we've ever given. And it's pretty much like we're losing money on this, because just to have the scanner here, it's $25 a month per user. So we're losing every time you buy this, we lose money. So if you want us to lose money, go and buy it. That being said, that's all I've got. Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys in the next. Thank you for watching.